Engin, good afternoon from Athens.
Good afternoon from Istanbul.
We have a very strange situation between Greece and Turkey. So why, in your opinion, we have such a strange situation with the two Greek soldiers? I mean, we often say that such cases used to be a routine, very easy solved with a phone call between the commanders of the two units. So there is a feeling that this time the case of the two soldiers reflects the nervousness of Turkey in regard of the Syria operations and with the gas extraction in Cyprus. What is the feeling that prevails in Turkey?
In Turkey, the feeling is not, we cannot attach the feeling in Turkey related with the Cyprus gas thing or gas dispute or related with Syria operation. Mostly it's, this, as you said, as you very well put, this incident was happening. Actually, in Turkey, we were not aware of this kind of incidents was happening. It was even not in the news, nowhere. This incident was happening, as you said, they were taking care of, the military authorities was taking care of it somehow. But this time it's not. I think this, at this point, because the chemistry of the relations have changed between Turkey and Greece since the failed coup attempt and after this 8 Turkish soldiers who, according to the Turkey, participated in the coup and they failed, accepted by Greece and not extradited to Turkey. So this changed, and the chemistry of the relations, and Turkey started to feel that because Turks was believing, they were strongly believing, and Erdogan and the government strongly believing was that Greek state is going to extradite these guys, these 8 soldiers, but it didn't happen that way, and it made a bit disappointment down here, and also Turkey couldn't understand because even some of the Turkish intellectuals believes that Greece is extremely sensitive on the coup issues, and therefore it would be not problem. So most of the people in Turkey and some parts of the government and states as well believes that nationalism took a role on this one, and they are that's why they are keeping this 8 soldiers in Greece. This belief or this situation changed the chemistry, and now this time Turkey was not very helpful on this 2 soldiers cases, actually, it seems.
How does the Turkish press deals with the event of the 2 Greek soldiers?
Well, right now Turkish press is just publishing how about them. There's not much to publish. We just know that the indictment is being prepared right now in Ankara. They are being kept in F-type jail in Edirne. F-type is jail is high security jail with okay conditions, which means that you can only stay with 3 people in one cell. But we also know that these soldiers are just staying in one cell, both staying in one cell. And also the Turkish press just publishing about the trial, about the upcoming trial dates or so on, about this bureaucratic things. Actually, they do not go too deep, but actually Turkish press is much more reflecting about the reactions in Greece about this issue. So we cannot say that Turkish press is, mostly twisting or publishing some extra things about this. incident. Actually, it's much more low-profile news in the Turkish media.
So, without a doubt, this case has provoked tensions between Turkey and Greece, and there are some extreme voices. Some extreme voices are heard. Politically
Yes.
talking, who do you think this tension serves? Some political forces in Turkey, maybe.
Uh, well, it's hard to tell this. This will be, very unestimated guess. But this, of course, as you know, Turkish government denied the claims about that they will be extradited, or there will be a swap deal between the Turkish soldiers in Greece and Greek soldiers in Turkey. They denied it. They said that there's no such deal, or that we are not asking. None of the parts is asking such deal also. So, but on the other hand, we are very surely knowing that if the 8 soldiers would be extradited, these 2 soldiers' cases will be also solved somehow. Therefore, I think this is much more motivated situation related with this 8 Turkish soldiers' cases in Greece.
So we just heard the Foreign Minister Affairs, Mr. Çavuşoğlu, said that the relations between Turkey and the United States are near to collapse. So if so, what does it mean about the position of Turkey in the Middle East and also in NATO?
Well, you are right. And what Çavuşoğlu said is actually reflecting the situation here in Turkey. Turkish relations with U.S. is at its worst. Turkey does not feel very well for a very long time with United States. They feel, especially on Syria issue, they feel abandoned, they feel betrayed by US, and also at some points by NATO. Therefore, they wanted to solve, especially in the north of Syria, south of Turkey, with YPG, and the operations are going on YPG, and so Turkey feels that they have to be supported more. And this came up to the top level when US decided to make the Raqqa operation with YPG forces rather than Turkish forces, even though Turkey has asked them told them that they will provide every ground military activity and forces in Turkey. So Turkish politicians and government thinks that US government and Trump administration is being manipulated by the US army, which is being which is being very active on US politics, according to them. Therefore, this Turkey wants to show off at some levels as well. So the Aegean dispute time to time shows up and so on, that sees that it proves that Turkey also wants to show how big they can operate in both sides. They can operate in Syria, as it's going on. There's, as you know, ongoing operation in Afrin right at the moment, and also we can still keep our borders safe, and even we can still operate in Aegean area and so on. They want to give this message because Turkish defense reflex has been weakened. There was some criticism about that, especially after the failed coup attempt. Many soldiers and many army members have been taken into jail because they have relations with Gülenist movement and so on. But Turkish politicians and Turkish state wants to show it's the contrary. That's why we may see much more hardliner issues in the border sites, border areas nowadays.
So apart from the US, there is a feeling that there is a chill with between the Turkey and the European Union in regard with the operations in Cyprus, or the gas extraction operations in Cyprus. We have the feeling in Europe, we have the feeling that in the European institutions, some have the feeling that. Turkey is gradually cutting some bridges with the European Union. So, what is the feeling in Turkey about this?
Well, Turkey, for a while, Turkey does not seem like very keen to keen to cooperate with Europe, especially after the failed coup attempt. The relations with Germany is not doing very well. Erdogan administration accuses German counterpartners that they are providing help to Gülenists, which accepts and considered as here as a terror organization and so on. So in other parts also, Turkey also again passed through some difficulties with Dutch government. They have lived also crisis last year and so on. So they do not feel that Europe is very very peaceful on that and so on. It seems Turkey is a bit much more detached than EU as well than it was.
Well, almost all Aegean is bound by Turkey and Greece for military exercises. The US ambassador in Athens has said that he fears that an intentional conflict could be possible. How is this climate in Turkey is being treated?
But as we said, I mean, Turkey nowadays wants to show off show its power. It's still on tracks. Its power still on tracks. Its army still working. Its army still operating in also in Aegean as well. It doesn't mean Turkey wants to show. Turkish states seems like they want to show that. It doesn't mean that they are conducting operation on Afrin or some other parts in Syria. It doesn't mean that it's going to be weakened in Aegean side as well. And let's keep in mind that Turkish army wants to also show, and in the sense of prove that they can still operate in more than one front lines and so on. So also, Turkish government is more nationalist now, as they are allied with Turkish nationalists. Erdogan administration is allied with Turkish Nationalist Party, so this will also put the situation between Turkey and Greece in Aegean side from the Turkish perspective would be much nationalist way. That's why also Nationalist Party become ally, and Turkish army is conducting operations in Syria. Turkish army is operating against PYD targets and so on. And the other criticism was from Nationalist Party before they allied with the Erdogan administration was Aegean region. So we can expect some more tensions in the Aegean region, but I think regarding with the Syria issue, this is a bit much more controlled tensions, we can say, from both sides.
So, Engin Bas, thank you very much for being with us in CNN Greece.
My pleasure.